Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Friends. I have to start out by telling you this. It's not often, in fact, it was never that the husband of somebody that I've interviewed has said, you have to meet my wife. You have to interview my wife. My wife is amazing. And I was pretty impressed by that, because I don't think most men are, I don't want men to be mad at me, are usually the agents for their wives, but I knew there was something really special. And you're about to meet somebody that is so special, who's done so much for this community and for the arts world. So Alexa Kuve is the founder of Arca Images, and you're going to learn about that. We're all going to learn about that, what it is that she's been doing for many, many years, and her dedication to theater, to the arts, to just really doing wonderful things, to bilingual programs, theater, and she's pretty amazing. So he was right. So Alexa, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Meredith.
Right.
He's amazing too. He's a great.
Roberto, and what he does with his meditation and Pilates together is incredible. So anyway, I don't think, I didn't say his last name. I just want to make sure I had it right. Roberto Santa Marina. Right? And I want to just give him some credit for this, for you being here. But what I wanted to start out with was that theater and the arts has really been your life, hasn't it? Going back a long time in Miami with school and with being an actress and actor, we say these days, right? No more actress.
I'm okay with actress.
It's okay. You're okay. Right. So tell me a little bit about, because you've been in movies, you've been in a lot of series on I was going to say Netflix, Telemundo. Big time.
Yeah, well, I started here long ago with Teresa Maria Rojas at Prometeo. It was a wonderful program that she used to have at Miami-Dade College at that time.
This was the professor?
Yes, Teresa Maria Rojas. She's amazing for the Hispanic community, and she has, many wonderful people has come from that program. So I started there years ago. Then I started working as an actor. That was my main interest, really, And I started working for Capital Vision at that time in late 90s and with Telemundo. I did soap operas in Spanish. I don't know, 12, 15 soap operas. And that was my world. But theater was always dear to me because that's really where my heart was. And I love TV. I don't want to say I love doing TV. I really like it. But theater was always in my heart. And I was always there as a performer. So Arca comes from a very naive intention. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, with friends. There was not much. There has always been good theater in the city, believe it or not. And at that point, especially the Cuban community, they were doing amazing things. But is this, I was young and I said, well, why don't I create a company? So I asked for a grant, and we do theater, we create our stuff. And with my friend Larry Villanueva at that moment, I founded Arca, and we started doing, a two-people show. It was like he will write, direct, do the lighting, and I was producing, acting. It was very modest, but that's how Arca, came alive. No?
And now, 25 years later, I think.
I'm gonna say, like the first half of these 25 years, I was more involved with, my acting career. But like 12, 13 years ago, my personal life changed. I got pregnant with my kid, with Amelia, and my priorities.
Number one, right? Number one.
And to continue on TV, it's very demanding, the amount of time that you have to spend there at the studios, which I love again, but it's very demanding. And I said, well, if I'm gonna have a kid, I want to raise her, So I shifted, that priority, And I mean, God aligned everything for me, really, because Nilo Cruz, Pulitzer Prize winner.
Of course, one of our heroes in
Right,
the
right.
world.
And Javier Suit, which manages
yeah.
the Miami-Dade County Auditorium,
Uh-huh.
really talked to me about, hey, why don't you produce something for Nilo? And I was like,
Whoa.
okay. And for me, it was like a one-time thing that was going to happen, you know? And I was at that point, okay, what do I do with my life? That actors were like this all the time. What do I do with my life?
My life, yeah.
How should I continue? What do I do? And so this, as I'm telling you, it was a line for me. This was given to me.
It sounds like it was very easy for you, that it didn't seem like a struggle, like a lot of, and not just actors, but people when they change something in their career or something might go through some kind of challenges.
You know what? That's
natural for you, you know?
It seems easy when it happens and how it happens. But when you look back, you worked for years to get there, you know? Because I worked for years, not knowing that I was going to get there. I worked for years in production. I worked for years managing properties. People say, oh, yes, it has to do because I had to do booking, I have to do accounting, I have to do, you know, because I manage all the areas of the company. That is not only the artistic side of the company, that is putting together, you know, choosing the plays, putting together the team, you know, who's going direct, okay, what cast, because I'm deeply involved in everything that happens in the production, you know.
I could feel that you're that kind of a person. You really, whatever you do, it's.
But also I have to do the desk job, you know, the numbers, the grants, the accounting. So all that prepared me for that moment, you know, so I was ready when it arrived. And from then on to build Arca from nothing really, from getting grants of 10,000 a year, you know, to God bless, you know.
You're doing well. You're doing
much bigger budget and having continuous programming through the year, and well, getting recognition, you know, not only from the Hispanic but the Anglo community. I mean, it's work. It's a lot of work, but it's a blessing because I love it, and I guess
feel it. Yeah,
that makes a difference. I work a lot, my friend. A lot. Every day, Saturday. You have no idea, but it's part of me. It's part of my identity, and I love doing it.
What would you say was, I mean, Miami has not been known as a theater community. Yeah. I mean, it's changing now. It's changing, you know, but in a sense, I mean, was it, were you like concerned about, well, first of all, a lot of your plays have gone to all over the world, right? I mean, a lot of your theater, I was reading about in Europe and everywhere, South America. So it's not like you were just focusing on here, but I have heard, you know, especially actors, you know, saying that it's hard to make a living here, right? I mean, it's hard and it's not so easy.
I will say it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
All of my actors, all of, I want to say, well, the designers, maybe they work with different companies during the year and they can make a living, but actors, very hard. Because it's impossible for us companies to hire them for the entire year. I mean, there are some companies that maybe have a different situation, a bigger budget, more stable budget, and they can do that. But that's not the norm. Not the norm. All of my actors have other jobs, you know.
Day job, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's still like that, and I wish, and that's one of my dreams to build this to a point that I can have at least, you know, a core group of actors that can be Arca's exclusive. That would be amazing, and that we work together in different projects during the year. And maybe if you're not acting today, you're whatever assisting, you know, that type of organization. That's like my dream. And hey, we have grown, and I feel it closer, getting there. But yes, that's
What do they say, bit by bit? But you're beyond the bit, the bit by bit. I mean, we have to mention the recent award that you received. I mean, very impressive award, and what it is, and the effect that it's had on your career, because it's pretty amazing that you received this award. So tell us about it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was last year. Last year was very tough year, with all the in work and in my personal life. In work, because we had all these threats about the cuts in fundings. It seemed, for a moment, like everything that we as a community have built was going to collapse like that, disappear, like the work of years, not only mine, the theater community and arts community in the county. And as I'm telling you, it was a year that it seemed like everything was going to be taken away from me. And with work, instead of complaining, and everything was returned bigger and better. So it was a very special year, 2025. And it's really the second year, the second season that we participate in the Carbonell Awards, which is in only being part, being judged by the Carbonell. It's an amazing accomplishment, and it's an honor for us, because we produce most of our plays in Spanish. And hey, to be accepted, and received the welcome, so warm, so nice for this community. And for the judges to go, we offer audio translation, which has worked very nice, because you don't have to be reading. You can look at the actor, you can see what's going on, and it's like having a podcast or telling you, the lines, the script. But and it has worked very nice. But obviously, it's a challenge, and all these judges have been so kind, and they go and they're so warm. And we received this year 10 nominations for 3 of our plays. And
really,
from those we received 3 of the awards, and I was honored. I was surprised with the Ruth Foreman award. That, I mean, it's totally unexpected.
It's what the Academy Award sense, right? I mean, in a sense, but for Florida, right?
Yes,
it is.
Yes. It is. And I'm beyond grateful to all the everyone in the Carbonell Awards, and everyone that has gone to the Westchester Cultural Arts Center and see our work.
So this is where most of your work is seen, right? At the Westchester.
No. I started working as producing, as I told you at the beginning, with the Miami-Dade County Auditorium, which was my home for all these years. And now it's closed for renovations, and it's gonna be better and bigger and brighter. So they still co-produce our plays, and that is very important to mention, and people to know and to notice that Miami-Dade County Auditorium, I mean, Arca wouldn't exist without Miami-Dade County Auditorium and the support they have given us. And I am not the only institution that is in that situation. They still co-produce our plays, and I found the Westchester Cultural Arts Center and Roxy Theater, and I couldn't be happier. They have, amazing people, theater lovers, totally supporters. I'm super happy there. The place is beautiful. If you haven't been
no, I have to go
there, please go, because it's a wonderful, wonderful black box, amazing environment. We're very happy there.
I promise you, I'm going to come visit. I'm going to come.
Yes,
I did spend many years going to the Miami-Dade County Theater. I mean, the auditorium. In fact, one interview that I did have in my early years for PBS was with Pavarotti, who actually canceled he got tired after rehearsing all day, and he said, "Nope, I'm not going to do the interview." And I had my crew there
Oh,
waiting for hours. You know, we were so excited, Pavarotti, and it's like, how do I go back to the station and tell them? He said no.
without.
But guess what? A few days later, we did it on Brickell at, I don't remember the name of the hotel, at a hotel.
Oh,
And
nice.
so, and he was so nice to me, to the crew and everything. And so it worked
Nice.
out. But I remember I spent a day there, and I have been to many shows. In fact, my question is, did you produce the play with that was produced, written by Nilo Cruz there about?
My friend, I have produced over 15
Okay. So that
by
one that
Nilo
I
Cruz.
saw was maybe one of the last ones that they did. So maybe it was yours, maybe it wasn't. I don't
With
remember
Nilo Cruz, everything that was
everything.
at the Miami County Auditorium was produced by Arca Images.
Mm,
He's a blessing in my life, and
yeah,
as a person, personally, because he's an amazing human being, and professionally, I have no words to thank him. You know,
sure.
everything that he did for Arca, just for being part of Arca. Just, you know, to have Nilo Cruz. He was the artistic director of the company for quite a few years.
Mhm.
And we still work together. Now on August, he's gonna be directing the death of a salesman for us.
Oh, fantastic. So, but I mean, it shows, that how much respect that he's had for you and the work that you're doing, because, he could go anywhere, right? I mean,
He can go
the
in.
world loves Nilo Cruz.
Yeah, well, of course. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, at the beginning, like that first production, I asked him, why did you choose me? And he never answers. Because, I was really, I had produced in the past, of course, but not, at that level. And it was just a blessing.
Well, I think Nilo Cruz, like your husband, is a very spiritual man, and I have interviewed him a few times, and we've had talks about his spirituality and he's a meditator, and this is the Amari's site, which is that you're on, and our whole focus is on meditation and going within, and I've had some really deep conversations with Nilo, not a lot of conversations, but some. So it sounds like you're in good hands too, aren't you? With
I keep good
company.
I keep
Supporting you with their energy, right? It's pretty cool. Yeah. What about the themes that you focus on when it comes to what? Do you have a feeling when you read a script or something that
it's totally
instant?
Yes, it's an instant. I read something and I just know. Hey, I know. Doesn't mean that it works or it works for everybody, but I read sometimes, many times, I don't finish reading the play. I start reading as I'm doing this.
You just know.
Yes, I just know. I just know. And what do I look for? Of course, we go to the classics because I like,
sure.
Wonderful writing, and you can't deny to do a Chekhov or to do or to do, that we have done. And
great writers,
great writers, of course.
Yeah.
And we have Nilo, but there are some contemporary writers, amazing contemporary writers. It's like Nilo Cruz, like Mabel González Melo, who's Cuban Spaniard. Our director now, he directs some of the plays for Arca. He and Nilo are main directors now. Carlos Eldran, he's Cuban too, and he's an amazing director and also a playwright. And I bring Spaniards and Latin American contemporary writers that are alive. Like, for example, Sergio Blanco. Sergio Blanco is an institution everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's like the modern father of autofiction. And I have produced two of his plays, Tebas Land, which is a classic of his, and Cassandra, that we just did in October last year. And I had the pleasure of bringing him to Miami. And he did a conference called Memento Mori. So this fusion of live writers, that are right in the theater, today's theater in the world, in Europe, in Latin America, in Spanish.
Is the theater different? I mean, the subject matter different from the way it once was, or is just, are they all different? Is everything just depends on the writer and what they feel like, what's coming to them to write?
Depends on the writer, of course.
Yeah,
Everyone has a whole, and some are more, some are more focused on one subject. But most of the ones that I work for are, it could be different subjects, but it's their style, the way they say things, the way they capture life or a story and give it back to us. What changes actually. And I love, working with them, knowing them. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a blast. And we have had the honor to travel, as you said. We have been in Paris, we have been in Madrid a few times, we have been in Alcalá de Henares, we have been in Mexico City, and totally beautiful experiences.
Well, you have given something or offered something, presented something that maybe wasn't really being done enough, right? Not just South Florida. You're really like all over, all over the globe. And so in a sense, you are offering something again.
Yeah, these playwrights are. I mean, Sergio Blanco. They have done the plays here in other, other states and everything. But the Anglo community don't know them as they're known, in Europe and Latin America.
So you mentioned headset. So does that mean that if a person doesn't speak Spanish, they can hear it? They can
with the headset. Simultaneous translation. Yeah. Live simultaneous translation. We have someone, reading the.
So if anybody's watching, you can come see the play, even if your Spanish isn't so great. Or I'm actually been taking Spanish the last 6-8 months. So I'll be more ready when your next play comes.
I like that.
Yeah. Actually, my Spanish teacher, all she wants to talk about is meditation, because she knows I go to this center, and she's always saying, now write something in Spanish, about your experiences in meditation. And so we have a good time together.
Nice.
Yeah. What do you envision in the future for South Florida? Because Art Basel, has changed, has changed Miami. And I was thinking, well, that was art, visual art, basically. Yes. And I was just thinking that, do you feel in a sense that your work will go on to affect and really grow, that the world will start to see South Florida maybe as the new New York, right?
Amen. Miami is growing that way in all aspects of the city, and the eyes are turning here. And yes, it's as you mentioned before, the artistic community here is not as known and as respected, I will say, in the other parts of the country. It's like the East.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't in that sense, but we're getting more and more noticed. And obviously, I don't want to say we're in a fight, because I don't like to use the word fight, because I don't think it's a good word. Okay. So I prefer to say that we're in a mission with politicians, with the state, with the people that should encourage and support the arts to really do it. Because right now, last year, as I mentioned, we had this enormous, threatened with the fundings that were going to be cut, and the Department of Cultural Affairs to be merged into libraries. We're facing the same thing this year. We got it last year, but we're facing the same thing last year. And I don't think the politicians, the community understand that we give back to the community. And we don't only give back in art and beauty and enrichment and education. We give back in dollars.
Mm.
We
So the
produce money. We give back. I believe, I don't want to say a number that is incorrect, but I believe that for every dollar that is given to a nonprofit organization, don't take this number, but something like 40 or over $40 are given back to the community. Dollars. I'm talking dollars.
dollars. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we do have an economic impact. And don't even go to all the thousands of people that are workers the arts, that we support our families with our work. So that is something that is crucial, and we are, and I say we, the artistic community, in this mission, and I guess from there things can change or not.
Well, you are doing it, I mean, you have created something that just what I'm getting, from having heard about you and read about you and getting to meet you now is that it's not just about one play or another play. It's bigger, and that's good, it's
Right.
bigger than that. You have this big vision for South Florida, for the world, for just really, to me, the arts definitely create change, things happen. People think in a new way. And, I've seen plays in South Florida that, I walk out and I'm thinking differently. And I think hopefully better, about something,
That's the purpose, yeah.
Or understanding a culture or people or whatever, and there is theater, a lot of theater that's happening. And it's a challenge now, and I think the community, as it comes together more and more, and with maybe a lot of people in the arts, involved in the arts, or trying to support the arts, something will give, it'll have a hat. Somehow things will work out.
Amen.
So I just love getting to be here to finally meet you. And to know that you're providing something in South Florida and for the world that does create change and that does make people think. And, I mean, you go and you see a play and it's like stays with you, it's kind of like people feel one book changed their life or a piece of music.
It's beyond entertainment, and there is nothing wrong with entertainment, but it's not only that. It's not only that. It could be a mirror.
I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you have a date with your daughter, right? An appointment, and I don't want to get in trouble, or this program get in trouble because we just kept her too long because we wanted to keep talking with her. But again, as I've heard so much about you before I met you, and then read about you, and get to be here to interview you. So I wish you
so much,
continued success with all that you do,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was lovely, and it was lovely meeting you. And well, I hope to visit you at the center, and I hope you visit us at the theater, and the blessing.
I promise I will come. I will definitely come, So it's just a pleasure. And thanks so much, and continued success. Thank you. And I want to thank Marianne Weiss. Marianne, both of you are Venezuelans, so we have that theme here today with Venezuela, who are, a lot of excitement, about what's happening. And although there's problems too, but there's good things happening.
There is hope.
Yeah, there's hope. And Marianne is our technical director, who also does amazing programs that she does at Peace Village to do with spirituality and meditation. And so Marianne's helping us out with the program by being our technical director. And that's what people do in the theater business, right? They trade off and they help each other when necessary. So thank you so much.